This episode is brought to you by Ford. Why is being open to new roads and possibilities essential to success when chasing your goals? For me, it's so important to pivot. It's imperative to allow yourself the freedom to change course at any moment when your energy is shifting. When you literally pivot, doors open up, opportunities fall on your lap, and you have so much more time to spend with your loved ones and with yourself. So break free from your day-to-day and start enjoying the little things in life that truly bring you joy. On the road of reinventing ourselves, it's just as vital to find those little things in life that give you a sense of stability, like the new Explorer. You know there's more to discover, and the 2025 Ford Explorer SUV is here to give you space for the things that matter most. It's time to break free from the norm, which has never been more fun and accessible for drivers with the 2025 Ford Explorer SUV. Turn up the adventure with Ford Digital Experience, including a 13.2-inch center touchscreen. Do what matters with the help of available Ford Blue Cruise driver assist technology for hands-free highway driving. Available feature on Blue Cruise equipped vehicles. Blue Cruise requires a connected service plan and a modem activation. Blue Cruise drive assist features can be activated in hands-free blue zones and do not replace safe driving, and drivers need to control the vehicle. See Ford.com/Blue Cruise for more details on available plans and hands-free models. Start your next adventure in America's all-time best-selling SUV. Based on S&P Global Mobility, 1946 current U.S. total, new cumulative registrations for all vehicles identified as SUVs. The new Ford, well, you know what it is. It's on the name, the new 2025 Ford Explorer, built Ford proud.
So what now? Welcome back to another episode of the So What Now podcast with your host, Dex.
You be so professional.
Carla.
Carla, I'd be like, who is she talking to? These are our friends.
She never just let me roll with it. And we have a special guest today. Let me do my thing.
Okay, fine, go. Welcome back, everyone.
Should we redo it?
No.
Okay.
That is how you intro. And I am.
You see how she treat me and we have company? We got company in the house today. This is how you treating me.
She like family is cool.
We have Ariel here today.
Hi, we have the big Ariel, not the little one.
Exactly.
The one with the big followers. The one with the big comments. The one with the big money.
Big purse.
Big.
Don't say it.
I ain't gonna say it.
I have that saved under your contacts in my phone in parentheses. That's what I wrote.
For those of y'all that don't know, Dex, for some reason, she'll have one drink and hit the blunt one time, and all of a sudden she starts screaming out, "Big pussy!"
That's not what causes it. You start spending money when you do those things, and I'm like, "Okay, big purse. Okay, big pussy." So it's actually you.
Me?
Do those, yes.
I gotta stop.
You be like, "Oh, let's get the big boat." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, because who wants a little boat?
I mean, some of us have little boat budgets.
No, we will forever manifest big everything. So we gonna do the big things.
Like we manifested you coming on the show today.
We got big Ariel coming on the show. Yes, thank you. This is actually, wait, this is our first guest.
Oh yes, you are.
You're our first guest. Welcome to our new humble abode.
Don't cry. I know it's very special.
I know. I'm trying to hold it together.
Yeah.
I only see them like at least once a week.
You guys don't know, and you happen to be new here. This is Ariel B from social media.
Yes.
Huge influencer. Now we're lucky enough to call her a friend, so we don't have to like call her PR agency or anything. Oh. I was just like, "Hey, OB, can you pull over quick? we need a guest to talk about some things with that I feel like you would resonate with."
Yes.
And when it comes to womanhood, the intersection of womanhood and motherhood, baby.
Ariel all the way.
Ariel's right there with us.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's a great thing.
It's an amazing thing to be a woman, to be a mother.
Yeah, but it comes with a lot of trauma too. And stop
all
signs
part of
and
it.
road bumps.
Yeah.
So it's not,
Yeah.
But there's good parts of it. Like whenever you, as a mother, whenever you qualify for food stamps, you get more money when you got more kids.
Okay.
You know,
that
things
went
like
left.
That. Right. That's a good, we were trying to find good things. When they get older, they can get the remote for you. Yeah. They can make you a sandwich.
A lot of people to get the remote in your house.
They can do that in the nursing home too. Whoever works there can be. Yeah.
No, but not when you're like in your 30s and 20s. No. Okay. Anywho, we love being mothers. We might just be going through some things right now, and it's fine. This is just so happen to be the season that we're in.
Yeah.
Or the Ariel's in. Me too,
That's
actually.
True.
You different story. But for those of you that relate with her and her waking up with cucumbers in her eyes,
Yeah.
because she's an empty nester.
Yeah.
Wow.
Speaking of seasons,
Okay.
it is so cold outside. And I'm in my winter shade.
Oh,
And so I went makeup shopping.
it's a say it one more time.
I'm in my winter shade right now. My
You have a
skin
winter
tone.
shade? Like, do you get lighter? Like, does your
In the-
shade change?
I am
during-
black 365, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No, there's no shading.
Through all the
Do you
seasons.
peel? Like, is it like
No, it's just like I don't have a tan right now, so I had to go and buy like
Makeup.
new makeup.
So for if you're-
fair-skinned makeup?
Let me tell you,
Is it like
it
3
is
bottles
so,
down?
It
or-
is so
Mhm.
depressing because that is the exact name of like the makeup options I have. It's sand.
this is a black woman, by the way.
Shit.
Before y'all want to make fun of, she is a black woman.
The
Sand.
bottom of your foundation says sand.
Sand, fair, or what was the other?
Translucent?
No, it was like sand, fair, and like just not and beige.
Mm.
Beige is good. Beige is good.
For walls, not for complexion. Beige?
Thank you. It was so
So,
depressing.
Okay.
What's the name of your shade?
Tan.
Okay,
Yeah.
yours, Ariel.
Mine always has like Morocco or cocoa
Yes, like,
or like
exactly deep.
something.
Oh, yeah.
I wanna be
I get
deep
medium.
Or
I get medium.
warm,
I want to
deep,
be
yeah.
deep. Yeah.
You wanna
are
be deep?
shallow
I don't want
right
to be
now.
beige. I want to be
This
deep.
is a puddle, baby.
Yeah, I want to be deep. I don't want to be
Mm-mm.
beige.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But that's
In the summer, I go to tan and taupe.
taupe.
Oh,
I go taupe really. Tan is
Okay.
like
So I use beige sometimes, and I've used taupe for concealer.
yeah.
So during
Mhm.
this shade, because I do get
Yeah.
a little bit. I use kind of the same throughout the whole year,
Mhm.
but it gets a little bit lighter during the
Okay.
winter time.
I have a question from us darker complexion people. Have you guys always lived in Florida?
Yes.
Yes.
So if you lived somewhere else, would it be worse? Because I
It'd be
mean, because
worse.
we don't
It
really
would be
get
worse.
a winter.
It would be worse.
It happened to me when I lived up north.
Like it would be.
It'd be
I
even
turn
worse.
yellow.
Yeah, it'd be worse.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. I turn translucent. Like you don't even know I'm in the room.
If you went to like Connecticut,
yeah,
it would be like
worse. And my nose would be red on top of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
no,
like
it's
I
pretty
get
bad.
like purple. Like
But speaking of makeup, real quick, was it easy to find one for you? Because I feel
oh yeah, there's lots of shades of white.
there's lots of shades of fair. Yes, there's not a lot of shades of
it's
deep.
ours that like
Yeah, there's lots of shades of white.
Yeah,
Mhm.
'cause for
There's
me-
light white, medium white,
deep
know.
white. You can get the deep white.
Deep white, yeah. Yeah, there's lots of
I don't know
there's
where
lots
we
of
are.
there's a lot of range, but I'm just like going further
Was
on
it
the other
humbling?
side. It's like, oh, this is so not cool. I want to be mocha.
Yeah, mine's like mocha and deep and yeah.
Yes.
Your skin, like you. What makeup do you use? This is not a beauty podcast, by the way, but it's-
Juvia's Place. It's black
Ooh,
owned.
I like their blush.
I love.
never heard of
Juvia's
it.
Place.
I love
Yeah.
their blush. You can
Oh my
get it at
God.
Ulta.
Black
Okay.
Friday. They were like 80% off,
Mhm,
and they shipped to your door quick.
Why nobody
Yeah.
told me this?
mhm. I really like them for blush.
Yeah.
They have fair.
Shut up.
They go
She said it was
all-
black owned. I don't know. If they had
No,
your
it goes
shade.
like
Yeah.
it does. They have a huge range, like
So it's like-
super, 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 like purple,
Mhm,
and then like super, super
mhm.
white.
Oh, so I use Fenty still.
Okay, I have.
I don't know if it's my favorite, but I've been using it. But I usually don't use foundation. I use tinted moisturizer, and that I like Laura Mercier
Okay.
Mhm.
from Sephora.
Yeah, that's not for darker complexion.
No,
girls.
they do.
I don't see like a lot of darker complexion girls saying I put on
Tinted
tinted
moisturizer.
moisturizer.
Yes.
What are we tinting? Would you
So-
tint a black window or is it just black? I'm not trying to be funny, but like I still struggle on with everyone's like, oh, wear sunscreen. I'm still like fighting myself to do it.
Yeah,
you
you
have,
have to do that,
to
though.
wear sunscreen.
Yeah.
Have to. That's
Thank
just
you.
that's just skin. What you be doing? Like taking care of your
Preventative
skin.
care,
Yeah,
yeah.
preventative care
Yeah,
for
but it was
aging.
also for African American people wasn't a thing.
Mhm.
It wasn't, but it should have been.
Yeah.
Okay.
It definitely should have been.
The thing is, it's not gonna catch up with you as fast as it'll catch up with me,
Mm.
type thing. But it still catch up with
It
you.
will catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so tinted moisturizer, we're not tinting anything. It's just it's not as heavy as foundation. So it just kind of like smooths out your face. Because we don't have bad skin.
Mhm.
So instead of having full coverage, it's just kind of like a little bit. So it's
Oh.
tinted instead of being like a lot of foundation. And it's very moisturizing.
Okay.
So it's like a moisturizer with a little bit of
Mm.
So you just you did yourself. So I'll do concealer, tinted moisturizer, and then like a little bronzer.
Mhm.
Okay.
So yeah, but
I don't know how we got here, but yes,
fair skin.
Yeah.
it's a fair conversation.
Right. But yeah, it's
And very inclusive. Very inclusive right here. Like,
That's really why I wanted to do it, because I'm like, I didn't realize there's some things that you probably wouldn't even look into.
No.
Yeah, but you're definitely going to use sunscreen now. Use moisturizer with sunscreen.
Okay.
And on your hands. You have to put, so after you're done, we talked about this.
You're still very young though, Ariel. That's probably why you're not worried about it.
I mean, you guys aren't that much older than me.
How old are you again? 35?
33.
33? Girl, I didn't know we was babysitting today. I didn't know we were babysitting today. It's children.
She's so young. But she's got the experience and life living.
Why are you whispering my age at me again and squinting?
You could be my daughter.
No, I could not. Your daughter just went off to college. No, I could be your daughter's mother.
You can go to college right now and they'll think you're Michaela's peer.
No, I saw Michaela's face. Like, the innocence was like draped over her like Snow White in a field of bunnies. I look like I've been through it.
No, you don't.
She looked like
you're the epitome
her cheeks were still plump and she was smiling.
She
and
has the cutest
happy.
cheeks.
She was happy to be there. And I was like, ooh, I got about 2 hours. I gotta go to sleep. Michaela was like happy to be there. Like joyful. You can see it in her spirit.
You like, y'all got
I think that's something young kids have.
Yes.
Like, no, when you see kids playing on the playground, like, I'm like, ooh, that looks exhausting. I don't want to do that.
Me too.
And they just smile. Michaela has that.
Well, I will tell you, you don't look like what you've been through at all.
You don't.
You know, it's actually, since you say that, dark moment for a second, but not really.
Here we go.
I looked you up on social media because I was looking up some of the stats of the stuff that we've been posting. And what popped up when I put your name, because your thing didn't come up at first, was a video from 2022 where you were like, I love him, but I love them more. And you put your picture of your black eye.
Yeah.
Of your bruised face.
Yeah.
And I had never seen it. And I was like, oh shit. So literally when I said that, you don't look like what you've been through, I just saw that last night. Because you sent me a screenshot of, you know, the analytics for Instagram. So I wanted to go check out TikTok. And I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, that wasn't too long ago.
I know.
Yeah.
It feels like it was the other day, probably.
For me, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it holds me back sometimes from moving in directions I should, because I feel like maybe I shouldn't be here. Mm-hmm. So it sits really close to me.
Oh. For those of you that maybe not know, and we won't really be getting into this because we have in this same feed, back when it was still Pivot with Purpose, we have tons of conversations of domestic violence. And she is a DV, we call it survivor. Mm-hmm. And she has a very, very compelling story. It's sad, honestly. Like, all those stories are sad, but also it's beautiful seeing how you pulled yourself out of it. So when I say that, you don't look like what you've been through, because baby, you look good. You look good, baby. You look good. Yeah, I know.
I'm not gonna cry here. I feel like all my clips I'm crying. So I'm gonna hold my tear ducts together.
I love making people cry.
So.
You don't be crying like that.
I do. I don't cry as much on camera. I be crying all day. So at least give me an hour during where I'm not crying.
Yeah, my tears are online with shares and comments. Carla's tears are at home in her closet. You know?
Constantly. No, I don't even be in my closet. I be driving, cooking, on the phone.
Cook and cry?
I have cooked and cried plenty of times with music on, my headphones on. I have boohooed. Like, and it felt good though. I like a good cry sometimes. Like, I'll be in there and it's like I'm going through something, and you know, I like to be in the kitchen. So I get to cooking and then I'll sob, get it back together, turn the music, dance. I feel like if someone were to have a camera, they would think I'm crazy.
Oh,
it would look crazy because you see all the emotions from tasting and getting happy to like feeling stuff.
Do you cry daily?
No, but definitely weekly.
Oh,
yeah. I be feeling stuff. I have a lot of feelings.
Yeah.
Do you not cry, Dex? Because
I thought I was a crybaby, but I don't cry weekly.
Oh, I just cried with you on the phone the other day.
Yeah, it was probably about
because she was hanging out in New York having a good time.
I told you the trauma just moves to different.
Yes. Yeah. And before we get into that conversation, let's talk about the Woman of the Week. Because we're women and we can endure all this stuff.
Okay, so can you tell me what Woman of the Week is?
She's fair. No.
Damn.
So Woman of the Week, basically every week we highlight a woman. We don't necessarily have to know her, but someone that's doing something great that we just want to highlight.
We want to give them their flowers.
And this week it is a white woman, but it's a new show. So what now? So I'm trying to be a lot more inclusive, but it has to be like a dope one, right? I said one, like it's a thing.
Like it's a
it has to be, it doesn't matter what race it is. I just want to be a dope woman, period. Mm-hmm. And I've really been mesmerized, or the word is not mesmerized. What's the word I'm looking for? Captivated words.
Because I'm not 12. I read.
Just because you look it.
Right. Alex Cooper.
Yeah.
So if you guys know, Alex Cooper is the host of Call Her Daddy. She is the owner of the Unwell Network, or the founder of it. And now, last week or so, a couple of weeks ago, she made this post that she had a secret project coming up. The entire rollout for it was beautiful, but she had a separate Instagram page and it said Secret Project 982, a bunch of numbers.
Okay.
And we're like, what is going on? And she's just putting like secret. It was her in a business suit in one of those, what was that?
Conference room?
In a conference room holding something that's a top secret. So no one knows what it is. She has all these new shows under her network. So I'm thinking it had something to do with a show or something like that. When she rolls out, drink hydration, unwell.
Mm-hmm. Unwell hydration.
Unwell hydration. It's a water. It's a Gatorade. It's a liquid IV. It's
liquid IV in a bottle.
Mm.
Pretty brilliant.
That's it. And she called it, what is it? Drink unwell or unwell? Unwell hydration. And with her, she's 30, I think, or 31. She's pretty young. But what she's doing, how she's maximizing her audience that she already has, it's fucking water.
Yeah.
It's fucking water. And I looked at the comments. People were like, oh my God, she's partnered with Nestle. And when she got to that big, your name is that big, she's in the conversation with the Joe Rogans. She's in the conversations with these huge like billionaire CEOs. And I love that for her, one. But two, for all of us to take kind of like a snippet from that. I know I am. Yo, there's a lane for you and your audience. Yeah. Some people don't know who the hell Alex Cooper is. Period. Yeah. Kind of like Kendrick Lamar. When people don't know that he's been selling out arenas for years and they'll be like, oh, wow. Actually, you know who did it? The Reed, Crystal. She was talking to Kid Fury and she was like, oh, wow, he's doing MetLife? Like, wow. He goes, he been doing that.
Yeah.
But a lot more people know him now mainstream. But some folks have these huge followings. Find something you're passionate about. She wanted, she probably drinks a lot of hydration water. She saw a niche there. She saw her fan base will buy whatever she wants. And she just put herself into there and launched it. And I think it's really dope. So Alex Cooper definitely gets Woman of the Week this week because she's just operating in her own lane, honestly.
Yeah.
She's doing her thing and whoever doesn't like it, And I also love that she got a team deleting comments.
Oh, really?
Yes, they do. They be doing that to me now. Like, she deleting comments. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Because I don't need that negativity in my life.
Yeah.
Put it over. There's certain videos I'll leave it on there. I'm like, y'all can go over there. That's the punk bitch section. Go over there and comment. But over here, what we got since, we don't have them comments.
Oh my gosh.
They are little punk bitches. Yeah. So shout out to Alex Cooper. Keep them, delete all them comments and do your thing, girl. I'm gonna try the water just cause.
I'm gonna try it too.
Yeah. I do think it's brilliant.
It's basically liquid. It's liquid IV in a bottle.
Yeah, she found something just like Halle Berry last episode. Halle Berry got the lube for midlife women. Intimacy gel. Sorry, you're right. Intimacy gel. She's got some water, so I may come up with air next.
Oh, you're gonna can air.
Yeah, I'm gonna can some air. Put it in a jar, not can.
A jar.
A jar is healthier.
Okay.
Wait for
that.
it. Blow pop.
You should sell fucks to give.
Wow.
In a can. That's very on brand for you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know because I ain't got no more left. So
what would be the topic of the fucks?
It'd be an empty jar.
An empty jar. Oh yeah, I'm gonna sell empty jars, and it's like, this how many fucks to give we got.
It could be a gag gift for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yes, or that could be a.
Yeah. Oh, take that out. That's a brilliant idea.
You like
Somebody might steal it.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, all right, I like that. Just don't make a clip out of that. Before we continue with the conversation, I want to let you know that this podcast is brought to you by Hi Hello Labs, a full-service content creation studio serving clients across the nation. One thing I am not is a gatekeeper, and this is where I record my audio and video podcast right here in Orlando, Florida, at their beautiful studio, because at Hi Hello Labs, they're on a mission to amplify expert voices. They facilitate the turnkey production and distribution of quality podcasts like the one you're listening to right now. They also produce digital courses, social media content, and live events. Nobody else does it like them, seriously, when it comes to live events. If you want to increase your reach and establish yourself as a thought leader, Hi Hello Labs is the studio for you. So go ahead and magnify your influence with Hi Hello Labs. Let's get back to the show.
Let's get into our motherhood segment.
Do we?
Yes,
I don't know if water and coffee is enough. We should have been taking shots of tequila for
both of y'all been stressed out with them grown kids.
Ooh, baby, stress. So basically, I wanted to bring on the motherhood because last week, I called Ariel.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going through it, but I remember you mentioning something to me recently about just kind of struggling with your older kids. And we've talked about, does it get easier? No, it just gets not harder. It's just a different type of challenge.
Yeah.
So you have a 19-year-old. I have a 19 and 4-year-old. You have
a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old.
For the older kids.
Yes.
So we're looking here at the fact that we can't parent them how we parent the 3 and 4 and 5-year-olds. Like once you become a teenager, it's a different type of parenting.
Yeah.
A different kind of relationship. And I've just been struggling so much. And I kind of wanted us to talk to the moms and to ourselves about what we do and how are we parenting them? How are we surviving this? Because I'm struggling. I have been personally outside of my new backyard smoking a lot of weed.
Oh,
a lot of weed.
Okay.
A lot of weed.
That's how you're coping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. I finished everything I had to do in the day working, and I just sit outside with my new little bulbs that I got, turn it blue or red, and just hit the blunt and just sit out there.
Do you think when you are high, or is it like an escape thing?
Well, no, because it helps me slow down my thoughts.
Okay.
So I react too much because I have all these thoughts and it's going and it's crazy. And I'm like, ah. So with that, I can slow down and it helps me understand her a little bit better.
When you're high?
Yes. Because I'm not talking to her. She's not there. Yeah. So when I'm high, I can slow down.
Why did you?
Ariel say, when you're high?
Yeah. So for me, when I smoke, it slows down my thoughts.
Okay.
And I can see maybe why, even though it could be fucked up, but I can see why she did what she did. Or I can sit there and truly say, you know what? Why am I putting my expectations on her?
Right.
Like, you're 19, you should know better. I'm putting what I did on her, but at 19, I had a 1-year-old.
Yeah.
So my life was different. She has no cares or worries in the world. So I can't continue to expect certain things from her. Like if she were me, I mean, I can expect things like don't come home at 5 o'clock in the morning like you did.
Yes.
What's wrong with
that? That was a lot. Yes.
5 a.m.?
Yes.
So I have been screaming a little bit too much. So I've had to reel it back. And I said, you know what? Let's leave it alone. And then I called you, which is one of those things that I'm grateful for, having friends that have children and struggles of the same age. Because although ours is different, all our kids are different, but we can figure out how to maybe talk to each other, decompress, and then figure out how to deal with it.
Yeah.
What are your biggest challenges now? Because ours, although mine is home, yours isn't, but they're over the age of 18. You're still right under 18.
Right. I think I have a lot of, expectations is a good word. And I think it's easier. Okay. If I have to be honest, I struggle with losing control. I can protect my children. I can house my children. I can feed my children. I can raise my children up until a certain age.
Yeah.
So I feel like you begin to butt heads with older children because now they have every right to be who they want to be. And that may not be who we want them to be.
Do they?
And that's still...
Yeah.
That still has to be their choice. And I have to love you kind of with a looser hand.
Yeah.
I can force my 4-year-old, my 10-year-old, my 11-year-old to go to bed, when to do their homework. I can cut off the TV. I can tell them exactly what to do. Can I say those same things to my older kids? Sure. But there's an internal resistance to want to be their own person.
Yeah.
And I have to, because I'm used to raising a bunch of little kids, I'm struggling with not letting go of 2, but kind of allowing them to hit some speed bumps without me plowing the way.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the hard part.
It is the hard, because it's a huge shift. Like the whole time you've had them, you've been their leader. You've been,
their advocate.
You've been the
voice.
leader. Now you become more of like an advisor.
A passenger.
Yeah.
In the car. And you're not
You
the
can
driver.
give them advice. You can give them guidance, but like you have to step aside and let them make the decision versus making the decision for them.
You helped me do that recently.
Yeah.
With Ayana. What was it for? Giving her a later curfew?
It was for her going out that week, and she fucked up regardless, but still. I was very proud of you.
She did good the first 2 times.
I was very proud of you, yeah.
So that, and that's the thing. With my kid, I don't know about y'all's kid, but I give her an inch, a mile every time. So I extended her curfew and she went out to some parties twice, came home right on time. It was 1:15, I think, 1:13 the first time, 1:14 and 59 seconds the second time. She was like right on time. The third time, I'm like, do what Dex said. I'm going to let her. She's like, can I push my curfew back to 2? You know what? Club closed at 2, so you'll leave at 1:30. It's cool.
Okay.
5 a.m.
5 a.m.
5 a.m. Hadn't even called. She wasn't planning on, first of all, she wasn't planning on coming home. At 5 a.m. I woke up, called, and she was on the road still. And I had to be like, get your ass home. But where is that fine line? Like, she's 19 and a half. They're going to be 20 soon. But you're still under my roof. But where is that? Where does the parenting and relationship, where does that shift? I can't just beat her ass.
No.
I can't do that.
No.
Like, that's done. I'm not that mom anymore. She's too grown for that. I don't know. How do you discipline them? What's the discipline? Did you ever have to discipline Michaela?
Release.
I did, but at Ayana's age, you don't discipline anymore. She is a full-grown adult. You have rules and expectations, and
of
you
your
set
house.
those of your home, right? And you set those rules, and if she continues to violate them, then
then you
an
are
adult
making a
and
choice to no longer be in my home.
There you go.
These
Ayana's
are the rules for my house.
Yes, Ayana's
and I can say that to you only because I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be hard for me because I dropped Andre and Haley off at a basketball game. My kids are now of the age where their kids, the same kids that I saw running and playing and kicking balls and coloring and Play-Doh, are now behind the wheel. And I'm like, ooh, it's not a real kid's name. I'd be like, ooh, I remember Freddie.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie's not that smart. And now Freddie's driving.
Yeah.
And now my kid's like, oh yeah, we're just going to all ride. We're not. Mm-hmm. I looked at him. He said, yeah, I know. I got to the light. I looked back. I texted him, Andre, don't get in that car. He said, I know. But it's like, for how much longer can I say that?
Mm-hmm.
I still...
And you also have to trust that you have raised him and instilled in him to make those good decisions on his own.
You stay saying that. And it's just like, they make really bad decisions.
They'll make some bad decisions, but you have to trust that you have raised him appropriately and he will make the good decisions. And when he makes the bad decisions, that's just the lesson that he has to learn.
The only thing I struggle with is grace.
Okay.
God's favor on me may not be the same favor over my children.
Mm-hmm.
So me having unprotected sex led to a child. Mm-hmm. God forbid, my daughter having unprotected sex could lead to AIDS. The grace is not always the same, and that scares me.
That's true.
I drove home, not fully cohesive, maybe had too many drinks, wasn't an Uber then.
Yeah.
So I just was like, oh, you drive and I'll sit over here, no seatbelts. But the favor, I don't know if that is transferable. That scares me. Just because I made it home with a friend that wasn't paying attention doesn't mean my kid will make it home.
Right.
And that's where I struggle with the release. Because like you said, how many times we had to teach them? I never fully heard my parents until I fucked up.
Yeah.
When they kept saving me, I looked at it as, you're in my way. You don't think I'm smart. You don't let me make choices for myself. Yeah. But when I got to make my choices for myself and I failed, then I was like, okay, this is what my mom was talking about. But I just don't know what that cost exchange is going to be. And that's the grace and the favor.
Yeah. So what I think about when I think back and I'm like, okay, so why did I make these bad decisions? And is there anything that I can adjust as a parent that would help Michaela to not make those bad decisions? So I think about like when I was having unprotected sex young, I didn't talk to my mom about it and I didn't like get the education on it because it wasn't like, you're just not allowed to have sex. Like, just don't do it versus like, hey, your body's going to have these feelings and you're going to have these urges. And so if and when you do this, these are the necessary steps for you to take to be safe.
Right.
Do you feel like this? If so, let's go put you on birth control.
Yeah.
For me. And then also with like the drinking, right? Like, I didn't have another option. I couldn't tell my mom I was out at Palladium nightclub drinking at 16 years old. I'm not saying that Michaela can go and do that. Yes. Okay. I'm not saying I approved her to go and do that. I'm saying, here, put the Uber app on your phone. My credit card is on the Uber app. If you ever get in a bad situation, you don't even have to call me and tell me you in that bad situation. Call that Uber. We'll talk about it the next day. Like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I like that. I think that Ayana still being home, and don't get me wrong, like I know when I be talking about she fucked up. Like Ayana knows that I tell her she's a great kid. Ayana is so smart, she's so helpful, but she's also just like me. Yeah, at 19, just wilding. That's not even the word.
She's very much like you. You push the boundaries, you push the limits. Like when you were talking about how like you extended her curfew, and she's like, oh, let me do this next thing. That is so you, Carla. it's the silly decisions that she's making, but that is so you to like, okay, let me just get a little bit more. Let me just get a little bit extra.
I'm going to ask you something, okay? Because you had your daughter young, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is something someone said to me and I didn't think of it that way. Are we afraid to let go because they're going to make a mistake? Or are we afraid to let go because how it will reflect on us?
I'm afraid. No, I couldn't give a fuck about people think of me as a parent. I'm afraid of her getting hurt.
Okay.
I'm afraid of what mistakes she could make.
Okay.
I just want to shield her.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be like, just come work with me, hang out with me, like just do these things that I know are going to make you successful and happy and stuff. But when I sit outside with my blunt, I think about, okay, if I didn't get pregnant young, if I didn't get all those tickets that I used to call Alicia twice a year. My license would be suspended. I had to like tell Alicia, please help me, like all the time. If I didn't make the mistakes and move the way that I did, I wouldn't have landed in the relationships that I did, like domestic violence. I wouldn't have gotten to where I am today without all of that. But it's like, can you just use my ass whoopings as an experience for you?
Mm-hmm. I want to go back to your question because for me, it was both.
Yeah.
Because, and it's not necessarily somebody thinking that I'm a bad parent or I did it wrong. It's really me saying like, I fucked up my life.
Yeah.
I got to get this one thing right.
This is one thing.
I got to get this one right. Yep. Yeah. Or this huge, like, you know, bad thing I did, but like, this is me making it right. This is me getting it on the right. But it was, it's saving her or having her have a better experience so that it
saves me.
Exactly.
I think I feel like that more with Psalm because she's already 19, right? I'm like, I feel like I did the best that I could till I got there. So she's there. Now I just want to like, come be my buddy and like follow me now that I'm finally here. Obviously not perfect, but with the experience that I have and the thoughts that I have now, I don't know. And even with Psalm, it's more not even what anyone else thinks of me. It's more like, okay, what can I change from the mistakes that I make then on him, with him, and do better while I can do better for her now. And I don't know. I'm just so confused as a mom. Like I can get all the business stuff right and I can do the campaigns and I can launch the pods and I can make the money. And then I look at my bank account, like, this is great. And then I just feel like a failure as a mom. I'm like, there's nothing I could do to just make it easier because it doesn't matter which way I navigate it, something isn't going to click. And I don't like it. I have no control over it. But it's because they're people. Obviously, Carla, they're people. You can't control people. I can control the computer and a landing page, but I can't control these humans and I want to control them.
Yeah, it's definitely the control.
It's control.
I mean, and I can say that out loud. That's good. I want to control my kids. That's my instinct to control where they go, who they hang out with, what they do, how they do it, whether they drink or not. I want to control that. But there are their own people. So I'm navigating that in therapy now of like letting go a little bit and choosing my boundaries with her. But then it's like, all right, if you keep messing up, I got to kick you out. And I don't want to. I don't want her out of the house.
No, and you don't have to kick her out. That's another thing I was talking to you about. Like you're very emotional and you react and you have these extremes. You don't have to kick her out. It's Ayana, you can't follow the rules. So here's our 6 months plan for you to get your own apartment. So that way your relationship doesn't have to be severed with you kicking her out.
The 6 month plan is
3 month plan, whatever it is.
Of
but
me
like, hey,
paying.
like no, you know, but still, like it's like you stepping back from the emotion, not having a reaction, but saying like, hey, like you don't want to follow the rules, so you can't live here anymore. Here's the plan.
She's so great with everything else. It's
so
literally
are those
the
little
smallest
things important, babe?
Yes.
Maybe they're not though.
So no, I'm telling you, when I wake up every morning,
they're not little then.
Yes,
they're not. Yeah,
exactly.
I say little because it's washing the dishes at night. It's doing the living room. Those are the two things. When I wake up and the kitchen is a hot mess, my entire day is ruined.
That's something you got to work on, bro.
Feel like that,
yeah.
Because my kids don't feel like that at all. Like, and I mean, I like TikTok and then I don't like it. My kids' TikTok feed looks completely different from mine. So when my kids send me certain things from like other teenagers and their mom's experiences, it's like they want to say it to me, but they can't. They really just want me to like read it. When it's like, Haley, for instance, remember iRobot with Will Smith? The robots have like a blank staring face and it's like this. And some teenage girl like screenshotted the robot and then wrote a text over it to her mom. It resonated with Haley and Haley sent it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, when you stare at your mom like this because you're listening and she instantly thinks you're disrespectful and you're just trying to listen.
Aww.
You're like,
so it's like, ugh, is that me?
I mean, actually send me more reels.
Or like, Haley sends me a lot and I don't know, it's kind of toxic, but she sends me a lot and I pray about it, I correct it, and I like that she's open enough because I couldn't send my mom shit.
Yes, give me the
I couldn't
feedback.
tell my mom, I don't
could
like
send
the
it, but
way
it ain't
you speak
happening
to me. Like there was no open communication. So I think the communication is key, but there's still downfalls to communication because they have every right
and they're all
to
different.
be who they want to be.
Yeah, they do.
Who am I to tell you what to do? So I tell my kids all the time, hey, I just want you to be happy and not hurt other people.
But what about
how that looks
when you're
like for you is not my call. So sometimes I give them the freedom to say, I like my kitchen clean. So for our family to work together, I'm going to cook, you're going to sweep, you're going to flip the dishwasher, you're going to set the table, because that's how the cogs in this kitchen and this clock is going to work for us all to live here. But guess what? When you grow up and it's your house, if you do not want to clean your kitchen, you have every right not to.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But for me in my house, this is how it works for me. And when I come to your house and you're an adult and you didn't want to clean your kitchen, I don't get the right to say anything.
Yeah.
But while you're here with me, this is how I would like it.
Yeah.
And I don't make them be happy about it. Andre's pissed every day when he takes out that trash.
Okay.
But if you think I'm going to walk it and you're 2'10", sitting over there with your legs crossed like you're in circle time in preschool, please take this trash out for me. But at your house, you don't have to.
Right.
But here.
Okay, so question. How do you navigate this when you're asking for these very small things, but you're literally providing them with this life? And not, I don't mean like the basics. Like, okay, I provide a roof over your head and food or whatever, but the extra stuff. I want to go to a concert. I want money for that. Or I want these clothes or all the extra luxury things that we provide and they expect. It's like, it is, to them, it's a necessity. It's like they expect you to do that. And then they don't do the little things. It's like, how do you then, how do you not say, bitch, I've been giving you da-da-da-da and start naming out things that you ungrateful mother.
But they're not ungrateful. Our trauma made us work hard to get us where we are.
Right.
They didn't experience trauma. They got to ride along for free. So it's not, they didn't work for it.
Yeah.
So when I started to see my blessings to my kids was bare minimum, that's not a blessing to them then. It doesn't matter how hard I work. My kids always think the car could be better. The rooms could be bigger. The house could be better. The Christmas tree could have more lights. Just because I busted my ass and it's my top, it's not their top because it's their normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not only that, Carla, you're not taking her to the concert because she does the dishes.
No.
You wanting to have it. So you need to you can't correlate the two. You either want to have this experience with her and go to the concerts and do the things, or you are doing it in exchange for her doing the dishes.
No, I don't do it in exchange. I just feel like.
But when you get mad at her for not doing the dishes, you're bringing up these things. We did all this stuff. I got you all these things and you can't be grateful enough to do the dishes. It's two totally separate things. Like, it's not an exchange.
They don't connect the dots like we do. And when I talk to my son, I clearly see the lost ghost face. I see the, I didn't mean it that way. Or, oh, you're taking it the wrong way. Or,
right. Oh, I hear that.
I didn't mean it that way. When my son doesn't take out the trash, I hear, fuck you, you ungrateful Black mom. I hate you, and I'm going to let you rot in a nursing home. That is what my brain tells me when the garbage is full. And my son sees it as, I didn't take out the garbage because I woke up late. And I had to hurry because I didn't want to wake you up to make you take me to school. So I didn't take out the garbage so I could make the bus. So he looked at it as, I'll do it right when I get home. And I looked at it as, he hates me.
Yeah.
No, literally.
Because I asked you to do two things and you felt like that was not on your bucket list to do today.
Do you say those things aloud to him?
I do.
Yeah. Okay, because I said it. I was wondering if I was the only one.
Andre pulled me aside and he was like, it really hurt my feelings that you think that I hate you. I told him.
Because I tell Diana, one of the few things during these last, she's gotten better now, but it was like, you literally say fuck you to me.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
You are so disrespectful. And she's like, I'm not trying to disrespect you. And I'm like,
but you disrespect me daily. And I'm like, you disrespect me when you walk out the door and you don't lock the door like I asked you, or I bought this extra lock for Psalm. It's safety. Now this is safety, right? The baby can leave the house. I forgot. It was just, I was rushing. You're basically saying, fuck you, because I did everything in place for you to do this. Or I wake up and the dishes aren't done and you're just like, I could care less.
Yeah.
I could care less. And I've said these things and she's like, no, that's not it.
She's literally not thinking about you at all when she does those.
Yeah.
It's not
Why
towards
you. Think about me?
It's not like a dig at you.
So how I gotta think about me? Think about me.
You let her get her own ruffles and her own trials through her own life. And then they will think of us. It's hard. It is super hard. But the only thing motherhood did for me is make me appreciate my parents. That's all it did. It didn't do nothing else. Because now I look at my kids and I'm like, oh, this is why my mom called 911 and I saw her pack. Okay, who packs a suitcase for the ambulance? That bitch was ready to go. I remember I told this story to anyone that would hear me because she was yelling at us about something. It was probably dirty house and kitchen and fighting and bickering and shoes and dishes. And she lost it. Literally had an anxiety attack because of her own children. In my head, I'm like, she's crazy.
It's so
and
dramatic.
She's doing the most. And she birthed us and put us here. Like, this is your issue. She packed a suitcase. I mean, toiletries, underwear, pants, socks. When she rolled her bag out when the ambulance backed up and she looked at me, I was just like, see you later, bitch. Like, you're insane. But now I'm like, oh my God, I get it. I get it. Yeah. She was backed into a corner. She had nothing else to do. No one would answer her. And she lived with 3 ungrateful kids that her top was our bottom.
This episode is brought to you by Ford. Why is being open to new roads and possibilities essential to success when chasing your goals? For me, it's so important to pivot. It's imperative to allow yourself the freedom to change course at any moment when your energy is shifting. When you literally pivot, doors open up, opportunities fall on your lap, and you have so much more time to spend with your loved ones and with yourself. So break free from your day-to-day and start enjoying the little things in life that truly bring you joy. On the road of reinventing ourselves, it's just as vital to find those little things in life that give you a sense of stability, like the new Explorer. You know there's more to discover, and the 2025 Ford Explorer SUV is here to give you space for the things that matter most. It's time to break free from the norm, which has never been more fun and accessible for drivers with the 2025 Ford Explorer SUV. Turn up the adventure with Ford Digital Experience, including a 13.2-inch center touchscreen. Do what matters with the help of available Ford Blue Cruise driver assist technology for hands-free highway driving. Available feature on Blue Cruise equipped vehicles. Blue Cruise requires a connected service plan and a modem activation. Blue Cruise drive assist features can be activated in hands-free Blue zones and do not replace safe driving, and drivers need to control the vehicle. See Ford.com/Blue Cruise for more details on available plans and hands-free models. Start your next adventure in America's all-time best-selling SUV. Based on S&P Global Mobility, 1946 current U.S. total, new cumulative registrations for all vehicles identified as SUVs. The new Ford, well, you know what it is. It's on the name, the new 2025 Ford Explorer, built Ford proud.
This is a great segue to kind of touch on that clip that just went viral.
Which one?
The Amora Lex from our own podcast.
Oh, okay.
So we had a clip.
Oh, okay.
It was us.
Sure.
So we just went viral this week. If you go back to episode 6, we talk about during the motherhood segment, or I think it was motherhood.
Yeah.
Amora Lex, who gave up her 5 kids to CPS.
Yes.
She had no help. It was her last resort. She did ask for help. And it goes viral. And here you go to broke baby daddies.
Oh my gosh.
Saying what?
Oh my goodness. Would you like to hear some? Because I left those up so they can see themselves in a, because it was bad. It is pretty bad. So we talk about the 5 children being given up, and there are 1,300 comments as we speak. And here we go. Just a few. Justifying fuck behavior is the biggest issue in our community. I hope she also had her tubes tied to prevent this from happening again. Where I'm from, kids handed over to the state are often abused, neglected, and sometimes even killed. I don't know if there's the better option. Irresponsible. 5 kids at 27. Seriously? They're the same people who would say, she wrong. No, this is actually a good one. Why keep having them though? One of the many reasons I don't have any. Motherhood looks ghetto. I have no patience to nurture a child, much less having explained to the man that I had them with, blah, blah, blah. Even more crazy that the fathers let it happen and didn't just take their kids. That was actually true.
Yeah.
You don't have 5 kids with 5 absent fathers by accident. Oh, but she's on a podcast talking about it. Did anyone else catch the accountability dodge? Maybe she maybe she shouldn't have had those kids and close your legs, but that's just not where we are. That's what I said. I said, okay, maybe she shouldn't have had them, but that's not where we are.
Yeah.
That's not dodging accountability. And everyone's just going off. Everyone I mean by those negative men that are on there because, if a man did this, a lot of them, if a man did this, she don't got to pay child support. Great way to dodge child support. As a mother birthing 5 children, it has to be so much harder to give them up to CPS than it is to beat their ass or, abuse them or do whatever. That's just, or kill them. It's probably easier to kill everybody. End it all. And it happens all the time. And you guys have an issue with her placing them to CPS because no one else helped. A lot of them, nobody got help. No accountability. You did them. You made them. She made them with someone else.
This is the only thing I don't get. Women are so stupid. Women should be seen and not heard. Women should just be at home, barefoot in the kitchen, pregnant and cooking you a meal. But we're supposed to raise kids by ourselves. I don't get that. And if I was a male and I left you with kids, no one judges me. No. Where's the accountability from the woman that birthed the man that left the woman? Where's that accountability?
Did she just say your mama?
Your mama.
Where's the accountability from your mom? Because I don't understand why I have 5 kids by myself from 3 different men. And if you don't think that I have contemplated, not even just CPS, just they can be raised from someone who's happy to raise them. No one ever thinks it's traumatic to raise kids and you're sad every day.
Because we weren't.
It's a chance. It's a 50-50 chance. Yes. Could they possibly, unfortunately, maybe get hurt or split up or not happy? All of that is happening in my home, too.
In the home, yeah.
You just think because I birthed them, they feel whole with me?
Right.
That's not true.
No, not at all.
Andre's father has 1 son, which is my child. His whole family just went on a family cruise that Andre had to watch on his phone.
Jesus.
He wasn't invited. He wasn't thought of. He wasn't included. Haley's father went off, got married, birthed 2 other kids that they all have a good relationship with now.
But it wasn't like that.
But Carl's kids are in sports that Haley only got to play if the discounted rec center would lower the price low enough that she can play in a mediocre league.
Yeah.
She didn't get to do gymnastics until I was able to pay for it. She wasn't able to do it in elementary school like her sister, who's now going to be levels and levels ahead because when you start matters.
Yeah.
How far you get matters. So now my daughter, yes, her father's in her life now, has to clap for her younger sister in a sport she wanted to be good at. My 3 younger kids have a father in prison. And all of his family in New York did a family reunion. They hung out. And all of my kids have living grandparents who love their other grandkids and not my kids.
Yeah.
So I take it very personal to raise them correctly because everyone else watches them grow up. So no, CPS is not a bad choice for someone who's burnt out and can't do it. I don't judge any mom that takes the easy way out because until you've sat in that darkness, who am I to judge her?
It's also the assumption of it's not. Do you think that was like, who says that was easy? Who says that she doesn't think every day about her children and the fact that she wasn't able to be the mother to them?
Yeah.
When you see the assumption that I just left them and now I'm out here partying and I'm living this great life. That girl looks broken.
Yeah. They were like, look at her nails done. Oh, she went out to a party. Why does it
matter?
Why do you care? Mothers should party. Mothers should hang out with their friends. Yep. Mothers should go on vacations. Mothers deserve a break. Mothers deserve to have nice clothes. Yeah. Mothers deserve to be able to go to the hair salon and get their hair done. We deserve all of that. What is it within you that makes you judge a mom because she had these children? Last time, again, that we checked, we didn't make these kids by ourselves. Yeah. Yet the 3 of us sitting on this couch are doing it on our own. And it's like, oh, pick better. They did not tell us they were going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So the next time someone votes for someone else that's going to ban abortions, maybe you can ban abortions. I will birth your children. But is there a law to make them be a father? Is there a law that automatically institutes child support?
And they bring up but we got put on child support. I just got a letter that they haven't found my baby daddy in the last year and a half. So they closed the case. But last time I checked, he was still on the internet.
It's not bitter. It's just inclusiveness.
Yeah.
I don't want the money, but you can't do money and no time. Money and no time, and you virtually watch them grow up. So for me, it hits different because I feel like for you two, your kids are just entering into adulthood, but they got to do those little years, just you, not online. It hurts to go through my views and see my kids' grandparents in my views. And they have never called my child.
Whoa.
And you're watching them grow up.
Wow.
And you feel like you know them because you watch what I posted of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes you feel somehow whole.
Oh, I ended up blocking.
I hope it rots you in the fucking grave.
I blocked Psalm's dad because there's no communication, there's no help, there's no nothing, but he was all in my views and Psalm's.
Yeah.
Like every time I post something of Psalm, he was watching. And I said, oh no, you're at least not where I can see it. You're not about to see what I post about him because you could be here if you wanted to and you don't want to. You just want to see how good of a job I'm doing. Yes, I'm doing a great job.
Yeah.
I'm doing a great job.
Yeah.
No thanks to you because this is not what you promised. So I think she did the best that she could. And who are we? I mean, we're not supposed to judge anybody, period. Why are we judging? And if you're judging, look inside as to why you're judging.
It's just a huge lack of empathy in the comments. And just like the lack of empathy in the world is probably what helped her get there. If there are more resources, if there was more of a community, she probably wouldn't have had to take that route.
I think the community needs to be from women.
Yeah.
I think men are exactly who they are and they're exactly who they're supposed to be. And unfortunately, men have built a community.
Fuck niggas.
No child support and I feel like if I left my kids, you two would call me or show up at my door.
Yeah.
When guys leave their kids, they go have a drink or, oh, it'll get better or, oh, let me hook you up with my homegirl. There's camaraderie.
People don't question them like...
No. Oh, what did she do?
No.
Or what if you could have done better?
No.
There's no expectation or accountability for men when they leave their kids, but the women get just ripped to shreds. And I'm just like...
When I see people working with a deadbeat or an abuser, when I see them partying with them, when I see them at their house just breaking bread, honestly, it makes me fucking sick. Especially when it's known.
You don't deserve friends. You don't deserve a toothbrush. You don't deserve...
As a friend, I know if you don't spend time with your kids.
Quiet as it's kept, a lot of us are dating deadbeats.
Yeah.
Oh. Now that'd be the catcher for me. Like, you gonna let this man sit up here and tell you he haven't seen his kids in how long because she won't let him?
Mm-hmm. And that flies.
You gonna sit up here and say you ain't sent no money or you ain't did this and like you're like still having sex with this guy?
And just in case anyone's wondering, that happened to me with my ex. Child support was being paid. When I came into the picture, he hadn't seen him. So I reached out to the woman. And when I spoke to her, she gave us the child, or gave me the child, and he started coming around. Still have a great relationship with her and with him. He still calls me.
So looking back, that's a red flag. Like, that's a red flag you missed, right?
I should have called her before.
You shouldn't have had to call her. You should not have to facilitate a relationship for this motherfucker and his kid.
Okay, but here's the thing. Just to be objective here, there are women.
Go to court.
Yes.
Go to court.
Yes.
Go to court.
Right.
That's your child. Go to court.
Go to court.
Go to court.
Right. And if you don't have anything hidden, you'll get your child.
No excuse. There's no excuse you could tell me for not seeing your kids. She won't let me. Unless I see that you are in the system fighting to see your child. That is bullshit.
I always take a step back from men who have kids and not in their kids' lives. First of all of my baby daddies, I had all their first kids. All of my kids are the first in my house.
First and only.
And you niggas still aren't here. Grandparent, like, I have all the first in my home.
Yeah.
I didn't have kids with nobody who already was a kid.
Yeah.
So at least the niggas could look at me and be like, oh, well, at least she kept Andre and she kept Haley. And I was at least mothering the ones I had. I wasn't like, oh, let's swing by their daddy house and see how he's doing. They were in my house. So all of my children's father, I had their first kids.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't I don't know, that when a man tells me that he's not in his kid's life,
Because
I instantly think it has something to do with like, it is him as an individual.
It's him.
So
It's
it makes me think, okay, if you didn't work, fight, give your all to see your own flesh and blood, what are my kids going to mean
exactly.
to you? How are you going to love and cherish my children when you have kids out there longing for a father? And because my kids don't have an active father, I look at my kids and I'm just like, me dating you is taking up time that you can be with your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because kids deserve two people in their life. They don't have to be together.
Yeah.
But kids deserve two parents. So if me dating you means that your daughter won't get a dad, I don't need to date you.
Exactly.
Your daughter deserves a father more than me having sex with you or having a relationship.
Yeah.
Your daughter deserves somebody.
Yeah. I'm glad.
It also just means he's gonna do the same thing if you fuck around and have a kid with him. He gonna like
you're gonna get up and go.
Exactly.
So I do want to say thank you for saying what you just said, because that was my thought process at the time. And I thought I was right. I was like, okay, there are women that blah, 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 blah. But it doesn't matter. Now in my grown big age, I know that it doesn't matter how evil. And like, if I hated my baby daddy down to his gut, I don't care how many times he beat me, did me dirty, was nasty to me. If he were to go to court today and show that he had a stable home, and he will get visitation even if he had no money.
Oh, just for the women out there who think that the baby mother's one, I hate when they say women are crazy. A woman is never crazy. Women have to be led. Women have to be led to bust your windows out. Women have to be led. She's not just doing that. He's telling her that he loves her and then hangs out with you and then she busts out his window. Women aren't crazy. They are led to be crazy. And for someone who lives in child support court, child support and visitation are not correlated. Nope. So when he tells you, oh, I can't afford my child support, so that girl just don't let me see my kid, in no state in America, all 50, child support and visitation are two completely separate entities. You can pay 0 in child support and you are still 100% able to visit, see, and have a relationship with your child.
Yep.
My husband, pick your ass up if you a little behind.
My husband beat me and left me outside. And we still shared 50-50 custody of our children.
Yeah.
Because he did not touch them. Exactly. He only touched me.
And didn't pay child support.
Don't believe the bullshit. Even though he didn't pay the child support and he beat me, he still had visitation rights to his kid.
And I know there's someone right now listening to this thinking, oh, but he said this, and that. No.
DM me.
No.
Call me.
Don't believe what he say, believe what he do. Y'all go on one too many dates and he don't mention how he did X, Y, Z with his child.
That's it. Nope.
No, Deadbeat. Get out of here.
Actions are a language. People think because you haven't said something that it's not true. The way someone moves in their life is a language.
Yeah.
Where you put your effort is a language. And I don't need you to pour into me and then your daughter doesn't have a dad. Because I don't need a broken girl out there to love my boys. That's what I think of it as. I want whole women out there for my sons to find whole women. And how is that going to work?
And I want to provide a whole son as well.
To somebody else. Yeah. So I'm going to tuck away. I'm going to do the hard. I'm going to put my feet on the ground because I want my grandkids to have something whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. And we don't all come from a silver spoon. Like, at least for you and I, we could say we grew up middle class, upper middle class, and we had privilege. I know that you didn't have as much privilege and we still did it. But does that mean that someone else from our backgrounds wouldn't be able to handle it? No, again, we were not designed to raise children on our own.
No.
Period, point blank. And if you as a mother are feeling overwhelmed today, right now, saying, I cannot do this, find the way to get help. And if there's no help and that's your last resort because no one is coming around, baby, you were not supposed to do this alone. And some people just cannot bear that burden.
No,
They just can't.
Yeah.
Physically can't do it. Mentally can't do it. Hormonally can't do it. They just cannot. And in this world right now, the resources aren't the same.
No,
it's completely different.
Yeah.
From when I had Ayana, all the resources that I had.
It's completely different. Yeah. It's completely different. And I never want my page to promote or demonstrate that women should be able to do this by themselves.
Yeah.
Because I get a lot of comments. Oh, you make it look easy, or it's seamless, or I just want to show you that I just want my page to be motivation, but I don't want it to be a blueprint for someone else.
Absolutely.
Because I've seen people with one kid quit It is hard. It is lonely. I don't know. Motherhood is dark.
It is.
If it's not done with the right amount of community and a partner, it can swallow you alive.
It really can.
Saying that is a perfect segue. We're gonna go ahead and skip over the womanhood segment this week, but we'll bring it back up. We're gonna be with you for some years. We're gonna talk about that later. But this is encompassing us as women and as mothers. But for the feel good of the episode, you just said it so beautifully because you're like, as a woman, what it could take. I don't want it to be a blueprint. We went and watched. Well, you invited me because she's famous and gets invitations to places.
It was a movie premiere.
So we went to go watch a movie premiere, and they're like, Ariel, yes, your names are on all 3 of your seats. Walk right in here. It was great. But we watched a movie called Night Bitch.
Yes.
And it's all about motherhood. And actually, I think I wrote the plot of it. Hold on.
Night Bitch.
Night bitch. Like the nighttime. So basically,
it was like, why did you pick me? Why did you hear this title and say, oh, I know the perfect influencer?
And then let me tell you. So the summary, synopsis, the point that words. I don't know them.
Okay.
The movie is about a woman. Yes, a plot. So a woman, she has to pause her career to be a stay-at-home mom. And then starting over. A woman pauses her career to be a stay-at-home mom, but soon her new domesticity takes a surreal turn and is an animalistic turn that it takes. So the movie, let me start by saying every mom should watch it. Okay. Wait till it comes out. I know here in Orlando it was only in one theater in Disney Springs, which is out right now. But if it's locally at your theater, I would say, girl, have you a drink, please. Smoke a blunt if you smoke. Take a gummy if you do gummies. But go in there like in a very chilled, relaxed. If you don't do nothing, that's cool. Drink your soda. But watch this movie as a mom, whether you feel like you have the biggest village or you have the smallest village.
Because she had a husband.
She had a husband.
Who paid her bills.
She sure did. She used to be an artist. And she decides to become a stay-at-home mom. Not because no one told her to. She just said to her husband, I think I want to be a stay-at-home mom. And he supported her and let her stay home. The loneliness that you have as a mom. And shout out to it being a white woman, because I would have been real upset if they invited Ariel and it was a black woman. But it was a white woman. They were well off. They had a great house in the suburbs. And even a woman with one child, and specifically showcasing the toddler stage, like the newborn toddler.
And he wasn't bad. He was just typical. Like it was an average child.
It was a little boy that would take paint if they were painting and like put it out there. Like she was just lonely. She was like, I lost my passion. I want to be a woman again. Her hormones were all over the place. She gained weight. She felt like she was growing hairs under her chin. I keep pulling one under my chin and my boob. There's just 2 hairs that just keep growing. But I loved when she pulled that hair from under her chin. I was like, and then he goes, the one on your boob or your nipples? Like, is your nipples hairy? Something like that. But I want everyone to go watch this, and it's going to make you feel so much better and seen as a woman. We were talking the whole time.
Yeah.
It was like, we just kept saying, oh my God. And I remember hitting her and I'm like, that's us. Or that's me. Or that's you. Or like, I feel that. And I literally physically, I don't know if it was the weed, but I physically felt what was happening during that movie. And the monologues.
Yeah.
Oh, the monologues are amazing. I told you we should go watch it.
Okay.
I'd see it again.
You'd see it again?
Yeah. It was really good. It was very visual. So the old saying when people would say, I'm trying to talk to you, but I can't. In the older generation used to say that was like, I had a frog in my throat. The video would physically show you a literal toad in someone's throat instead of saying that she couldn't speak. So Night Bitch is like her transforming between womanhood and independence and motherhood. So it physically showed you her transforming, but
dog.
It wasn't meant to be literal.
Got it. Okay.
Like, so they'd show, like, that's why I gave the frog in the throat as an example. If you see a frog in the throat, it's not saying, oh my God, she's out here eating animals. She's not. It was how she wanted to speak up for herself or wanted to stay more, but she just chose not to.
Got it.
Right.
Or like
we're seeing hairs where she was, she literally turns into a dog and she's doing animalistic things like barking, going outside and digging holes. And we didn't realize, oh, this is just an analogy.
Yeah.
To where she feels inside. And as a mom, I'm sure every mom has felt when you first have that child in those first, I would say 5 to 7 years, where you're trying to get yourself back. It's like, what am I passionate about? Especially when you're older, right? Maybe at 18, I didn't have that so much because who the hell was I? Like, I had nothing going on. But I would say 30 and up, where you're like, I want to go back to work. Where the adult conversations. She goes and hangs out at a dinner with her old like partners and coworkers and painters, and they're having conversations, and she couldn't relate anymore. Is about kids, and you're like, I want to relate to art again. Right. So she starts this rage just coming from inside of her, and I felt that rage before. I'm like, I want to get back. I want to get back healthy. I want to get back fit. I want to be as creative again. I want to go out with my friends.
So and like when you saw, so when you saw the scenes of a literal dog digging up bones, that was like us, like letting go of the baggage.
Got it.
Digging up, oh, I did used to like to do this. These were my friends over here. So it shows you it in an analogy form. And unless you're like really paying attention, you'll be like, what kind of witchcraft is this?
Okay,
this is
so
weird
there was a time during the movie where I looked at her and I said, bro, what the
where are we?
Because we didn't realize what we were watching until about halfway.
It had to click for me. And I was like, okay, no, I get it.
Got it.
It's an analogy, but they're not going to tell you it's an analogy. It's your job. That's why I kind of felt like if you are not a mom, you will not get it. You won't get it.
Got it.
Because it's not someone physically crying on the couch, just being sad, telling you what they're sad about. It shows you motherhood. She barely speaks in the video.
Yeah.
All of it is like in her head conversations. Like I told you in the bathroom, we were getting ready and you were like, oh, how are the kids? And I was like, I can't go to one more fucking Christmas event.
Yeah.
That is what she said in her head. Then when her mouth opened, she said, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's
if there were a lot of those.
Yeah.
I only could say that to you because I'm like, okay, Dex has been a mom. She's been through this, so I can say that to her. I couldn't say that to a white lady. I probably would have said, I'm fine. Thank you.
And that's a lot of what she said. She would always say, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine. I love this. But inside the monologue she would have before that scene, you're like, did she take the words from me?
Yeah.
She listened to the podcast.
Yeah.
She listened to the podcast. She took my words.
It was really, really good.
So hopefully this episode encourages women to, one, watch that movie just because it was really good and it makes you feel seen. Two, we are all mothers here, different types of moms. When you're mothering older children, you have to really look at who you are as a woman, and be like, well, who did I turn out to be and how did I turn out to be this way? I turned out to be and became the woman that I am today because of the mistakes that I made in my past and the things that other people showed me. And I learned from my own mistakes.
And you got to let the babies learn from theirs too. They got to learn from their own mistakes, Carla.
I don't like it. But I'm going to do it. I feel like I am getting better. I've been trying to talk to her. I'm like, what do you need from me? Like, to support her. And I'm going to smoke a little bit more weed.
She's never going to be sober again. She's never going to be sober
again. It took me
again.
33 years to start smoking. How ridiculous.
Ariel, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yes. You have some things coming up. So if you want to go ahead and let them know. There's a course that we might possibly be doing.
Yeah. Carla's hinting because she wants me to get on it, and I'm going to.
She's like, put it out there so then you have to do it.
I'm going to start a course for women and men, I guess. But because I'm a female, I'm pitching it towards women, but it is inclusive. A way to help and guide you through the child support system. So it would be kind of like a courtroom mom,
like an advocate?
Like an advocate. Some things that I wish I would have known, should have known, the blueprint, kind of how you're going to feel before you get there. Kind of like the movie. I think unless you're in it, you won't know. And we can be very emotionally charged because it's important to us. Your kids are important. Your life is important. So I feel like if you can know what's coming, you can better prepare yourself and not lash out or do the wrong things or file the wrong paperwork or put yourself in a worse position. So I am working on a child support courtroom packet workbook class for women to help guide you through the legal family court systems for yourself and your child.
And remember, fellas, if you're listening to this, or a woman that's dating a broke baby daddy, or deadbeat, I should say, we would rather have the father be healthy and in the child's life before we take $1. And I can say that is universal to every mom out there. A mom that loves her children, that is a healthy mom. We do not want a dime from you if you have given us time, or giving the baby time, not us. If you're giving your child time, that's all we want. We want you to help. You could give me $20,000 a month. I would never get that from either one of my baby daddies. But if I were to get $20,000 versus you being there 50% of the time. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I can take a break and go do my thing, do my work, and then come back and pick them back up and they're happy and they're healthy. I'll do that any day. Yeah. Don't pay me a dime. I don't need child support. I don't need a court. I don't need a cash out from you. I don't need a Zelle. Nothing. Be there for your child. But there are some men that just are unable to do that. And I'm not going to just let you go of your responsibilities.
And I think that's why we fight and we think that our kids are being ungrateful. They're not. They're being kids. And kids don't see money. They don't see financial value when they walk in a room. Like I walked in here and was like, wow, it looks great in here. Because I'm thinking at about 150, 200. I'm looking at it from a financial value because I know what going to work means. Right. If you remove the work and you remove the money and it's just pure and it's just time and attention and who speaks to me, kids don't look at what we busted our ass for them. So for the dads that are like, oh, I don't pay child support, would it be helpful? Yes. But does your child probably want you to talk to them more, know them as an individual, rather than pay the $30 even though you're working under the table and you don't pay what you should? Absolutely. So time does matter.
It does. And we're going to wrap up this episode of So What Now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you rate, subscribe, go to YouTube.
All the things.
Do all the things.
Comment, follow. Yeah.
I'm at Carla Wilmaris on all social medias.
I'm at Dexty.
Ari, where you at?
I am at all platforms, _Ariel B.
It'd be like the millions over there. We were just her little friends over here.
Yeah, hello, friends.
Also, don't forget
Big
that
friends.
Don't forget that if you want to start up a podcast, I can help you do that through idealaunchpodcast.com. Also, if you're in Orlando, Florida, and you need a studio like this one, you can't have this set, baby. Don't even look at it. You ain't gonna get this one, but you can get this area.
Yeah.
You know, but this is a huge studio, Hi Hello Labs here in Orlando, Florida. And they also travel. They be going on the airplanes with all these cameras and these mics and coming to you. So they're also mobile Hi Hello Labs for every content, podcast production that you may need. Hit them up, HiHelloLabs.com or Hi Hello Labs on social media. I got something in my eye. Let's go. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
This episode is brought to you by Ford. Why is being open to new roads and possibilities essential to success when chasing your goals? For me, it's so important to pivot. It's imperative to allow yourself the freedom to change course at any moment when your energy is shifting. When you literally pivot, doors open up, opportunities fall on your lap, and you have so much more time to spend with your loved ones and with yourself. So break free from your day-to-day and start enjoying the little things in life that truly bring you joy. On the road of reinventing ourselves, it's just as vital to find those little things in life that give you a sense of stability, like the new Explorer. You know there's more to discover, and the 2025 Ford Explorer SUV is here to give you space for the things that matter most. It's time to break free from the norm, which has never been more fun and accessible for drivers with the 2025 Ford Explorer SUV. Turn up the adventure with Ford Digital Experience, including a 13.2-inch center touchscreen. Do what matters with the help of available Ford Blue Cruise driver assist technology for hands-free highway driving. Available feature on Blue Cruise equipped vehicles. Blue Cruise requires a connected service plan and a modem activation. Blue Cruise drive assist features can be activated in hands-free Blue zones and do not replace safe driving, and drivers need to control the vehicle. See Ford.com/Blue Cruise for more details on available plans and hands-free models. Start your next adventure in America's all-time best-selling SUV. Based on S&P Global Mobility, 1946 current U.S. total, new cumulative registrations for all vehicles identified as SUVs. The new Ford, well, you know what it is. It's on the name, the new 2025 Ford Explorer, built Ford proud.